Hey, it's David Brody from Elvis Duran in the Morning Show. And once again, I get to interview somebody I grew up listening to. I've been a fan forever. It's a big deal to me. Paul Stanley, lead singer, rhythm guitar player from the world-famous band KISS. A couple of years ago, Paul released a solo album, Live to Win. He toured to support that album, and now he has a new live DVD out from one of those shows. He's also promoting the release of KISS IKONS, a 4-CD set featuring 4 CDs, each one dedicated to the 4 original members of KISS. The songs they wrote, the songs they sang. There's a Gene Simmons disc, a Paul Stanley disc, an Ace Frehley disc, and a Peter Criss disc. Phone's ringing, there he is. All right, let's not waste any more time. Here he is, Paul Stanley.
Hey, this is Paul Stanley. You're listening to my pal, David Brody.
Paul Stanley, welcome to the Brody Blog.
How are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you so much for calling in.
Hey, my pleasure.
Let me get the obligatory, I've been a fan 33 years out of the way. Also, before I forget, because you guys were the biggest rock stars in the world, you made it okay to be Jewish. You guys, you and Gene made it cool. You made it cool to be Jewish, got me through junior high school and high school, and I wanted to thank you for that right off the bat.
Oh, good. Glad we could be of service.
As I said, you've been doing this for many years. You're as busy as ever now. You've got a DVD out, which we'll talk about. You've got a CD. You've got your art. Did you ever think in 1972 that, in 2008, you'd have so many things going on, still with the same band, still cranking out great products?
It would be impossible to have thought it, because there was no such thing as a band lasting that long. It was only since then that bands have come to continue to a point where nobody ever thought it possible. A lifespan of a band at one point was 3-4 years. How long were the Beatles together? About 6 years, 7 years. So the idea of going 10, 20, 30 years is astounding. But what you find is that rock and roll is timeless. So as long as you're doing something well that people are relating to, it can continue. We just came back from the biggest, most successful tour of Europe we've ever done. We played 30 shows in 7 weeks, played to about 400,000 people, and we're playing the entire Kiss Alive album and some other songs, and it was huge. So it only gave us the sense that, well, let's hit the studio again and do a new album. So that's in the works now.
You guys have had lineup changes. You took the makeup off. You put the makeup back on. Was there one definitive point where you said to Gene, or you said to yourself, I think we're done now? Or was there never really a time where you thought it might be time to stop?
Never. Kiss breaks all the rules and lives by our own. So I can remember reaching a point where it was very clear that the 4 characters would go on forever, regardless of who was in the band, because that's what people wanted. And it reached a point where anywhere in the world you could show a picture of KISS, and people would tell you it's KISS and not necessarily be able to name all the members. So, to cheat people by not giving them that, we just decided would be crazy. KISS has become iconic. So at this point, all we want to do is be worthy, live up to our past, and blow people away in the present, and we're doing all of them.
I have to agree with you that your makeup, your characters are iconic, and the new CD, of course, called IKONS, which features the logos of each of the original 4 characters. But I read somewhere, and I want to touch on what you just said, that you feel the band could go on regardless of who's in the band. And I've seen you live numerous times, and I've certainly seen you live with your latest 2 band members, Eric and Tommy. But can you honestly conceive of the band going on without you and Gene? To me, I don't want to give more importance to one member or another, but it seems hard to fathom you 2 guys not being in it.
Well, it's funny, even when you're saying, the 2 new guys, Eric and Tommy, that's people will always think of Ron Wood as the new Stone, even though he's been in there, 30-plus years. So, Tommy's been around, I don't know, at this point, probably 8 years, and Eric's been in and out since 92, I think. So, at this point, this is the most stable lineup, and the band's never sounded better. In terms of the band continuing without me or Gene, I don't put it past happening. There are a lot of talented people who are going to come along, and if somebody can take KISS to another place at some point, then why not? I don't say it's a given, but I don't kid myself into thinking that I invented the wheel.
No, but you made the wheel a lot cooler, Paul.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that very much. So, I have no plans of stopping.
Good. Now, let's talk about the DVD. You have One Live Kiss. Your solo album, Live to Win, came out in 2006.
Right.
Had a lot of great songs on it. Every Time I See You Around, Live to Win. You did a lot of them on tour in 2006. The DVD is out. I watched it over the weekend. I got a copy of it, of course. It's great. I saw you tour in 1988 when you toured with Bob Kulick. So it was good to see you out on the road again.
Great thing with this tour was I had a phenomenal band that I had seen on TV on Rockstar in Excess. They were the house band that backed up all the contestants, and they were just a phenomenal band. So they became my group, and we went across America and then to Australia. And the whole idea was to play all the classic Kiss songs that I wrote, from Love Gun to Detroit Rock City and Lick It Up, and then also to play songs from my 2 solo albums, and to get a chance to go out and do it in a way that Kiss doesn't usually get a chance to do. Basically going back to what I saw growing up. We would go to theaters for 2,500 people and see Jimi Hendrix, see The Who, Led Zeppelin, Derek and the Dominoes, all the classics. And it was really about communicating with an audience and plugging in your amps, and kind of like rock and roll church. So that's what I wanted. I wanted the power to come from the band and the interaction with the fans. And we shot it on 14 cameras, and it was film as opposed to some of these cheesy DVDs of concerts that you see that kind of look like a cheesed-out rock video. This is looks and sounds phenomenal.
Well, it certainly looked good on my big screen TV this weekend, I have to say. It does have a great look to it. Now, Kiss now has a 4-disc IKONS collection, IKONS with a K, of course. It was a fan's idea to put this together?
It was the record company's idea, of which we have no jurisdiction at all at this point. They actually have the power to release anything they want in any package. So they put this together. It's funny how sometimes fans will say, why are you putting out another compilation, or why are you putting out another best of? It's because they have the right to put it out at this point. We see the packaging, which is nice, so we get a chance to say that's great or that's not great. But the fact that it comes out really has nothing to do with us, and I can't say that it came from a fan, because the only thing I know is it came from the record company.
Okay. Well, in case people don't know what we're talking about, it's 4 discs, 14 songs a disc, and it's a lot of the classic Kiss songs, some that have never been on a compilation before. So that's out there. Paul, you've got your artwork, which people can see at paulstanley.com. I got to see it in person at the Short Hills Mall a few months back.
Right. Wentworth Gallery carries my work.
Yes, and it's beautiful. I love the star painting that you have.
Yeah.
And it's really it's amazing that you can do what you do on stage, and then you can create this artwork. I would imagine it's as rewarding to you as the music.
Tremendously. It's been monetarily, incredibly successful, and but more importantly, I love doing it, and it's always great to do something you love and then see that other people love it. Good.
Well, before I let you go, Paul, and we want to make sure everyone picks up the DVD, Paul Stanley, One Live Kiss. Have you seen Role Models yet, the movie that's out in theaters right now?
I've seen the key scenes, and I've seen my name mentioned as a hero, and
Sean William Scott talks about Kiss and what a great band it is, and how cool it is to one of the kids in the movie, and he talks about Love Gun and what it means. It's a classic scene, and it pretty much sums up your band and one of the many impacts that your band has had. Congratulations and continued success.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Paul. Have a good day. Well, there you go. Paul Stanley of Kiss. Thank you very much for checking out my Brody blog. Thanks for checking out Elvis Duran in the Morning Show, a show that I work on. If you're not familiar with it, check them out at elvisduran.com. Check out my other blogs, and feel free to email me at brody@elvisduran.com. Peace out, everybody.
The Brody blog is property of Clear Channel Communications and may not be rebroadcast in any medium.